start talking about it. Week 4 AF1 action kicked off on Thursday night as the Billings Outlaws went into Washington and took care of the Wolfpack 61-23. Now, Dad, I know you had a busy schedule this weekend. What did you see of this game, and what are your takeaways?
I missed the game. I'm afraid to say, and I apologize to team owner Steve Titus for not watching the game. So I wore the Billings Outlaws championship shirt from last week as a way to make up to him. I did not actually see the game. I saw highlights, but yeah, I didn't actually see the game itself.
Well, I caught a little bit of it here and there Thursday night. Very busy. It was spring break week here, so been kind of all over the place trying to fit in as much football as I can, as well as not watching enough football to piss off the fiance. You know how that goes. But let's talk about some stats. The Billings Outlaws quarterback Braden Wingle, I believe is how you pronounce his name, 22 of 31 during the game, 249 yards. He threw 6 touchdown passes. Awesome game for him. And then he had 2 rushes for 11 yards. But then, the wealth was spread around with those wide receivers there. You had Jevin Frett, who had 10 catches for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Adrian Adams had 7 catches for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. And wide receiver Kenneth Brewer III had 4 catches for 49 yards and, that's right, you guessed it, 2 touchdowns. So the wealth was spread. Billings is out there having a very balanced passing attack. You love to see it. They're a force to be reckoned with. On the other side of the ball, though, the Wolfpack still trying to figure things out. I did think quarterback Ed Crouch had flashes where he looked really good. I think he started the game off with the 25-yard run for a touchdown to kind of start and take the lead for the Wolfpack. So we thought maybe for a minute that the Wolfpack were going to make this a game. But Crouch would end up being 8 of 13 during the game. He only threw for 63 yards and a touchdown as well as an interception. But he did have 12 rushes, including that 25-yard scamper for a touchdown. He rushed for 63 yards and had 2 touchdowns on the ground throughout the game. Wide receiver Deshaun Williams had 4 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. He also ran the ball 2 times for 4 yards. And look, this is Billings dominance. Washington came in, you get your early strike, and hey, it's arena ball. Teams are going to score. But the question is, can your defense, get some stops? And Billings defense made some stops. They even had the early pick 6. There was a span where Billings made a 22-point run to start the game, including that pick 6 and a safety. So Billings defense came to play, and it's just, for the Wolfpack, it was just an avalanche of just disappointment after a while. They were even down 41-17 at halftime, and they only were able to muster up 6 points in the third quarter and went scoreless in the fourth. So Billings, did what Billings does as the reigning arena champions. Again, while this is the inaugural AF1 season and there is no AF1 champion, Billings, though, as you got your shirt there, Arena Bowl champions last year, heck of a roster, heck of a coaching staff there.
Yeah, well,
what do you want to say about them?
This is the second away game for Billings. I think their first 4 games, maybe even 5 games, are all on the road. So they're not showing that they have any problems going on the road and winning some games, but that might be different this week. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about that again coming up. They got a big road test this upcoming week. I mean, they're going to have back-to-back games against a very tough opponent. And let's finish up talking a little bit more about Washington real quick. They finally got their brand new uniforms in, and they looked pretty good. I thought they looked really good. The helmet, obviously, still just as great as it was last season.
Oh, yeah.
Now with those bright blue uniforms and that purple accents, I just think it looked really sharp. I'm curious to see if they got a different set of pants to go with it. With the black pants, it wasn't a bad look, but could these be, Dad? I have to ask, now that we've kind of seen all these teams' uniforms, or most of them, are these the sharpest uniforms overall in the AF1?
Well, you're more into the uniforms than I am, so I'll let you call that.
True.
But I think all the teams have some really, really good uniforms this year. I think we've seen them all now from all the different teams, and they're all really, really good.
I think we still have a few alternates to still make their debuts. I know Billings still hasn't debuted their home uniform, and they haven't debuted their alternate gunmetal gray uniform that we've been hearing about. So I'm sure there's still a few, and there's the rumors of Albany with the orange uniform. So fingers crossed that we'll see that at some point this season. Anything else about this game before we decide to move on?
No.
All right.